folks, welcome to my channel, or welcome back. My name is Kat. I'm a licensed and registered dietitian nutritionist, and on this channel we like to talk about weight neutral focused approaches to health, as well as diving into scammy, in my opinion, unethical nutrition related businesses, products, mostly nutrition related MLMs, and other fear mongering nutrition claims. Today's video is a little bit different. We are doing a reaction. I am reacting to a video that was sent to me, and it was a Young Living update, kind of a chance to ask Young Living corporate questions and talk about some concerns that some of the distributors had. So it includes the distributor and also the current general manager of Young Living. Them as people is not as important as to what the message actually is. And so I will, just like in my other videos, typically I like to blur people out. We are going to react to that. And then I also want to share a TikTok video that I came across. I actually interacted with this person. They're in a different MLM, but it's a kind of sad TikTok. I think it brings up some important things to remember when we are talking to people who are in a multi-level marketing company currently. Of course, there are so many different ways how to reach people. People aren't going to really listen until they're ready, but I think that it's important to kind of keep certain things in mind, just so that we are helping people to get out and it doesn't always feel to them like we're attacking or anything like that. So that'll be after the Young Living reaction. I think that's it. Oh, so really cool. I was able to be involved along with Mombi and Hannah Alonso in an LMR article. I will have that linked in the description box below. I'm just, anytime that I can talk about nutrition related things, products, companies, whether they are MLM related or not, things that are a little bit concerning, I love to talk about that. I love to get information out there so that the consumers will be more educated and they can make a decision based off of facts versus emotions. And so this is just, it was so fun to be a part of this article from the Daily Beast, and I really want to do more of that kind of thing, like educating, giving information out, and using kind of my platform, what I have to kind of help consumers get information. So check that out if you haven't already. I want to do more of that. All right, that's all for the updates. Let's go. The whole video is a little bit over 40 minutes. We're not going to go through all of it. Some of it's a little bit dry, but there are some parts in there that I think it's important to discuss. Young Living is kind of struggling right now. There have been a lot of false claims made about what their oils can do. Lots of false claims related to COVID. I'll leave a couple of links down below. And also right now, there are a lot of Young Living distributors who are leaving Young Living to go either to another MLM or to leave MLM. It's a really interesting time for Young Living right now. I truly don't think that the majority of people who are in MLM, especially at the lower levels, I don't think that they mean to cause any harm. When I was part of MLM, I had every intention to help people. That's what kind of how I was brought in, was the chance or opportunity to help people. And I was told this kind of narrative of how it could help people in more ways than just health-wise. So I really love my career field. And the fact that I could use that and also help people on what I thought was the financial side as well, that is where I was coming from. And when I started to learn more about moving up, focusing on building team with less focus on the actual product, that's really where I started to have some red flags come up. And of course the response was, well, if you're growing a team, you're helping more people, get healthier. So you're still able to focus on the product in that way. And so it's kind of like a backwards way almost. And that's what kept me in there for as long as it did. And talking to my top upline, not my direct upline, we're still cool. She's great. But the top one, her, us having a one-on-one conversation and her really saying you have to focus on building a team if you want to do anything in this business. Like if you want to make it big, like if you want to see that financial success that we encouraged you with to bring you in, focus less on the product. And I think at that point, in similar situations with other companies, other people, they can be at that point and kind of just lose themselves almost. I think it's really easy to do that. And so if you are part of an MLM right now, I understand because I was there. And that's okay right now to just continue to watch maybe anti-MLM content, listen to some of the red flags that might come up, and maybe look for information outside of the company or like direct uplines or sidelines. Like look outside of that. Think about where the information is coming from. A lot of times if you leave MLM, typically the response would be like people left because they, didn't work hard enough. They, didn't see the vision, something like that. I had a chance to work harder. I had a chance to, I was halfway up in the company that I was in. Like I knew what I needed to do to get higher, but that's where I had some internal concerns with the focus being less on the product and more of the team building aspect of things. So anyway, all that to say, if you are part of Young Living right now, I don't hate you. And there are a lot of people who are in your situation, who have been in your situation. I just encourage you to ask questions and see if you can get some variety in the responses to the questions that you have. All right, so let's just watch. Finally, come on, Kat.
I'm more than happy to get on these calls because ultimately, if you don't know where things are at or where things are going, then we just operate in silence, and that really sucks. So I don't want to do that.
So that's fair enough. I think it is a good thing that they want to keep people up to date on things. I don't know how transparent they can be with everything or how true this is, but there's that. This though is another reason why when somebody says their business or their company, they own their own business, they're the CEO of their own business. If you're the CEO, why are you having to learn about what your business is doing by corporate, by other people? It's not your business if you have to learn about your business through these kind of calls. Just saying. I'm going to put this on 1.5. We'll see how that goes.
Okay, so does Young Living keep tab, discuss the top 5 customer complaints per day / week? Does YL keep tabs on the top 5 brand partner complaints per week, per day per week? Yes, we do. I have a standing meeting twice a week. Usually it's on a Tuesday and a Friday. And what I do is, it's not just me, sorry, it's not about Andrew, but we sit down as what we call member-facing teams, so people that interact with members at a variety of ranks and levels. And we hear member services and leadership and Diamond support give us a breakdown of the top number of what we call call drivers. And so those drivers allow us to understand where the most heat is at, and then we're able to apply resources in a fashion that allows us to help those actually come to fruition. So for example, a little while ago we had the issue with orders just saying processing in the warehouse for tracking, and tracking never updated, right? So on day 2 of that happening, when we met with the member services teams, what happened was they were calls about tracking is through the roof, and we were what's happening? And so then we were able to dive into it, apply resources, and get it fixed readily. So again, we do track them. The people that need to hear about the issues hear about it frequently, so that way we can apply the leverage that's needed in order for us to solve some of those biggest pain points.
So that's interesting. They are pretty up to date on talking about the top 5 complaints that they're receiving from distributors. I wonder, I just want to be a fly on the wall to hear about that and what those are. Some of them probably are just the shipping information or shipping complaints. Not that interesting, not that juicy in my opinion, but some of the other ones would just be interesting to know.
Ooh, let's see. Checkout process for a new sign up. Eliminate having to click on I can't speak today, I'm sorry. The grade boxes at checkout to confirm address, payment, shipping. Yes, so we call it simplifying the enrollment flow and eliminating clicks. So we've gone through some innovation that allowed us to shorten it a little bit. And again, we're continuing to innovate on that flow, so that way it can be a short and seamless checkout for you, for your helping out your new customer, your new brand partner, etc. So yes, I love your thoughts there and some of the suggestions that you put in there. So thank you for adding that. Does Young Living track customer referrals? Yes, we do see customers that refer other customers. I think it goes without saying, but because there's no intrinsic benefit at the sign up or at the referral piece, we don't see a lot of it happening. But we do. We do reach out to customers on occasion that are referring. We do a little bit of surprising and delighting, if you will, of helping those customers feel the value for referring. Obviously, there's a lot of things that I'd love to do, in terms of customer referral, which are on the horizon. But
so for those people who are referring, who maybe aren't part of the company, I wonder if they're like just what does he say? Delighting? Let me go back.
We do a little bit of surprising and delighting, if you will, of
surprising and delighting. I wonder if they're giving them like free merch or anything like that, like encouraging them to maybe become part of the company, become a distributor. That's interesting.
Want to set expectations accordingly. So we would love to be able to have that be more systematized, if that's a word. It's probably not. So just again, bear with me. It's Wednesday and Andrew's brain's not working. Let's see. So there's some things in here about recent take nitro. Yes, I have it. It's in my fridge. I need to grab some. Yep. Hold on, I'm gonna grab some.
So while he grabs his nitro, this is something that I've talked about on the streams that I've been doing with DC. That is another thing that is an update. So DC and we are reading through Young Living versus doTERRA, a lawsuit from them. And it's been a lot of fun. It is quite a lot of reading, but it is, I think we're trying to make it as interesting as it can be to just read everything. I think it's been interesting. It's been a lot of fun to do. So if you have not checked those out, if you want something that you can just kind of put on in the background while you're cleaning, whatever, check those out. We are still currently, as of me recording this, doing those live streams, and they're a whole lot of fun. And if you're not subscribed to DC, you should definitely check out her channel. I'm just in awe of how much content she's able to put out, and just the quality of her live streams in general. They're just really cool. Another thing that I forgot to mention, so that I've been mentioning on her live streams, on our live streams, is that technically I was a Young Living distributor. I had there's another military spouse that we're friends. I'm fine with her. I think, I don't know if she meant to do this. Maybe she explained this to me and I just didn't understand fully or something. I'll put the blame on myself, but I wanted to help support her business. This was when I was still in my MLM. Basically, I ordered a starter kit from Young Living. When I heard the word starter kit, and this is where I kind of put the blame on me. When I hear starter kit, at least back then, I was thinking like starter as in like getting your own self into essential oils, not like starting a business. I can't find any examples right now. So see, this was probably my fault. But when I heard starter, I was thinking like, okay, you're starting to get yourself into essential oils, and this is like the specific product that she was trying to sell. And so I was like, sure, I will go ahead and purchase that. Little did I know that I was actually signing up to be a distributor. I did not find that out until like a year later, almost a year later, when her upline reached out to me and was like, do you want to put in another order? Do you want to help somebody get started? Like, what do you want to do in order to keep this going? And I was like, keep what going? Yeah. So again, I might have just misunderstood her, but yeah, I was a Young Living distributor once upon a time. And this was 2017 to 2018. So it's been a minute. Also because I didn't have all of my cats back then. I think at that time I had 2 cats and 1 dog. Now I have 3 cats and 1 dog. But I did not feel comfortable using the essential oils because I didn't want that. Like, I had heard mixed information about essential oils and pets, and there was zero chance that I was going to take like any chance to use those oils with my babies in the house. That was just not happening. So I think I used the lemon one for insect repellent, and I would put it like on a paper towel and put it near me. I didn't want to actually put it on me. And then I did use the one that's like Bengay or Icy Hot, that super mentholy smelling one that you use when you're sore. Yeah, I used that one. There's a Christmas one that I got as a bonus that I would just like smell randomly because it reminded me of Christmas. But I ended up throwing them away, but I did keep the little these are samples from 2017, I suppose, and so they're probably, I don't even know if they still expired. I don't know if oils expire or not, but at this point I'm just keeping them because content. Okay, back to this.
So there's a lot in here about some of the things floating around on social media and what's happening there. I think the best way to kind of encapsulate and kind of cover some of those is that there's not a lot that happens in Young Living or even outside of Young Living that conduct and legal aren't aware of and don't know about. All of that is being handled through the proper channels. All of that is being handled with the right people in the room, understanding where all of that's at. So just know we see what you see, and the proper steps are being taken, I think is probably all that.
So Young Living is aware of everything that's going on with social media and everything, conduct and legal, y'all. Young Living, if you're watching, hi. Please make Young Living a single level selling opportunity, and please have your distributor stop making so many claims and trying to do it like all sneaky and privately. Please be very upfront with your numbers, with your income disclosure statements. Give more information. Be very upfront with people who are signing up, who are registering to be a part of Young Living, so that they know what they're getting into.
What's the status of people going inactive? We are unsure on whether to reach out to people who are showing us about to go inactive due to the 12 months without an order. So right now where things are at. So when we moved on to the new platform, they went through what are called business rules for how the business operates. I know that sounds really simple. So basically, at what point, if somebody hasn't placed an order in X amount of time, when do they get removed? What happens, etc. And there were some pieces in there that, one, made it really confusing. Two, was a terrible experience for not just the person that was purging, but for the person that was, that had that person in their organization and some of those pieces. So we pulled up what the current rules were slated as. We sent out a communication, it might have been a couple months ago, maybe a month ago, where we said we weren't going to be reclassifying anybody. And that was because when we saw the rules, it was going to cause an impact that none of us internally wanted to have for you guys. So we're in the process of clarifying some of those rules so that way the experience can be quite easy. So, for example,
apparently it was hard whenever I left Young Living, I guess, for them to purge me. I don't know what that looked like, but that's getting updated.
I guess I should also say, along with this are some of the things that I've talked about before with CV. So we want to marry those two together when we roll them out. So that way, as we talk about change, which we've had no shortage of change over the last little bit, I want to be very, very mindful that when we roll out new change, that we're lumping the things together that need to be talked about together. So that way it's an easy understanding, it's an easy training, and it's an easy delivery. So that way you can understand what it used to be and what it is now. So we're in the process of rewriting those rules for people that, are about to go inactive and are inactive. So that way your organization can be crystal clear on who you need to reach out to, who's been inactive for 12 plus months. The people that have been inactive for 24 months or whatever time frame are out of the tree if they're supposed to be. So that way we can keep the organization looking the way that it should. So that way it's easy to understand. And then the reporting that you have also makes sense to tell you which direction to take that conversation with that individual. All right, so I feel like there's still a lack of communication that is still present when it comes to making last minute decisions. That leads to much frustration for brand partners. Launching of Simplified Oils on a Friday night was super frustrating. It was a good thing that was sold so well. Not ideal. Fairly certain many people weren't checking their emails. And P.S. I appreciate you. I love that. I really do.
See, like if you can't change or like make plans as to when your company is going to release a product to start letting people purchase it, it is not your company. Just saying.
I think as we were heading into the weekend, so I'll give you the frame of mind that corporate was in as we were kind of going into the weekend, because everything you said is accurate. Being able to pivot on last minute decisions is hard because again, steps get missed usually when you're in that, oh crap, we got to go now. So the frame of mind, we wanted to be able to, two frame of mind. One, we wanted to go into the weekend with something positive, something that would allow everybody to, rally behind and create some of that good energy and that good momentum that happens from good announcements. Obviously simplified was that. Obviously the outpouring from what I saw on social was awesome. It was great to see that excitement. And honestly, it was great to see from a numbers perspective, which I hope you saw too, like kind of some like awakening, if you will, of, on a Saturday, when's the last time we had a good Saturday, or we had some good news rolling into a Saturday. So that piece was fun. And secondarily, as we were looking at the trend, a really big focus for myself, a big focus for Ben, a big focus for Jeff is improving your business, improving the income, improving how the business facilitates your lifestyle, facilitates all aspects of that. And so we wanted to be able to give something that would allow you an end of month push that could help lift your business from where we're at today in relativity to last month. What we're seeing is that as a market, we are above where we were last month, and we're going to end above it a little bit above, which is great. It shows signs that we're starting to get into a rhythm of slowly increasing month over month over month your business, so we can start gaining some traction back in that regard.
Gaining some traction back. They've been struggling.
So those were kind of the two frames of mind. Wanted to go into the weekend with good news, flood social with all of the good things. We saw, great responses from everything that we saw there. And then secondarily, a good end of month push. So in the chat, Amanda, we can push things that have high inventory. Yes, I would love to finding the best way to equip you with, this. We have a lot of this on hand. Go bananas with it. Educate, do what you do best. Do the things that you want to do. I love that. I love finding that. I think when it comes to high inventory, some of those things, finding the right rhythm in which we do that. Again, I'm open to suggestions, opening. I'm open to finding the best pathway there.
So things that are in high amounts, high inventory, having information pushes, kind of like campaigns out there to get those to be purchased. It's just interesting. I know that's kind of a business move overall, but.
Can the field receive a 6-month notice of products leaving our product line? So we have time to plan to purchase what we may need, instead of the field giving us the negative reactions because of their need for product. Yes, I think, again, as we look at because the focus for us internally is needing to equip you with information sooner, so that way adjustments can be made, plans can be made, and then we can go execute to perfection, instead of making the announcement and we got to do it all right now and then steps get missed, etc. I love the idea of us giving a 6-month notice on anything that's changing as it relates to product. As we've seen over the last year, the more time that we give you, the better with any type of announcement, whether it's an incentive or promotion, etc. So yes, we can definitely do this. We can definitely find that rhythm of communicating on what is happening with any product, and then that way we can set expectations the right way from the get-go moving forward, and you have a long roadway to be able to change or adapt. Let's see. So I know there's some things in here as it relates to seed to seal. Some of those questions getting asked. What are the standards? How do we know that the standards are being met? The best resource that we will continually add to is actually, I'll put it in the group once the live is over, but I'll add the URL that goes to the FAQ page that we're going to be adding some things to. That FAQ page is going to be the best resource that we have in terms of setting the truth from the get-go on those statements that are there. We met with the team yesterday to make sure that there was a big push, a big emphasis on testing, on what types of tests, and how are we holding the standards of seed to seal with everything that we do. And so we should, I hope that we'll be adding to that FAQ by the end of the day today. So 5 p.m. my time, we should start seeing some additional questions and some additional resources getting added to that page that are very specific about testing. Because again, I want to be equipping you guys with the things that matter most as it relates to questions that you're getting asked. And also so you don't have to do the burden of doing the research. This resource will continue to live and will continue to be innovated on, will continue to be prominent in terms of our story and the validity of that story through this page, as well as other landing pages that we'll be making. So that way you can just point people to the page instead of you having to be the expert and be like, well, I remember when so-and-so, we want to be able to give you the thing that makes sense to push people to. So that way you can have that. Oh, thank you, Amanda, for adding the link.
I just think it's interesting how right now they're focusing so much on the C2 seal after there has been controversy about that and some concern about the actual quality of the oils for so long already. So why now? Why now are you coming out with this information and wanting to have it readily available? Where was that years and years ago. Like that would be like the first thing that I would do in any ethical business. Like you want to provide that information and be very upfront about it. At least that's my opinion, what I would think. But
sales promotions. Because our focus right now, new member experience is a big focus for us, and then improving your business, improving your checks, improving OGV, improving enrollment. All of those things encapsulate where our focus is at. I need a little bit of time before I can give some of the specifics behind the things.
Hold on, let me replay that.
Because our focus right now, new member experience is a big focus for us, and then improving your business, improving your checks, improving OGV, improving enrollment. All of those things.
Improving member experience, improving enrollment. That is the focus. Where is the focus on just actually like selling the product without having people join Young Living? It's interesting.
All of those things encapsulate where our focus is at. I need a little bit of time before I can give some of the specifics behind the things that we're planning and preparing for you for this year and soon. Where we've fallen short in the past, and this is my fault, and I'll completely own this, is that we came out with something that maybe helped with like half of the problem, or a third of the problem, or whatever. And so because it only helped with some of it, it wasn't as successful as it could have been if we would have just taken a little bit more time to create a fully rounded story, approach, and a solution to most, if not all, the problems. What we're working on now is that well-rounded solution that can help a variety. I got issues. Hold on. That can help a variety of issues, and again, help improve the business, help improve the new member experience, and help us continue to see that month-over-month growth that we're seeing. Let's see. I have members who are questioning the integrity and purity of products. Again, the resource page is where we're going to be where we're going to be adding the resources necessary for you to be able to combat that with facts. That way you don't have to say it as like, well, my experience is that. No, well, you'll be able to point them to a resource that actually helps them see it direct from corporate, and then they feel like there's some substance there. What is being done to stop the widespread reselling of YL oils on Amazon? So this is an interesting one, because I'll give you an example. This happened a couple months ago, I think. So there was a pretty prominent seller on Amazon. Through contact and through a variety of channels internally, we were able to find out the account that was facilitating the majority of the stock of that seller listing. So we shut it down, no problem. We're like, this is awesome. We got him, and it was one of the bigger ones. It was one of the 3 biggest ones. So it was a good feeling to get that shut down. What we saw happen though is we shut it down, and then through a variety of shipping addresses, method of payments used, IP addresses, like all of these things that we were able to track. What we saw was that there was over 80 accounts that could be helping facilitate this one listing on Amazon.
See, they could, I mean, you could argue, not selling on Amazon for like ethical reasons. Totally understand that. At the same time, they could change their business model and like just sell like any other essential oil. They could sell direct to consumer and not have this kind of pyramid-like structure. They don't have to do this kind of pyramid-like structure. They really don't. They could do this kind of single level one where they could have affiliates, but not have this kind of dream building focused on income and just how, all this is going to fix all of your troubles kind of thing, when we know, looking at the numbers, looking at the research about multi-level marketing, it's just not going to happen. Over 99% of people who are involved in multi-level marketing on the business side either make little to no money or lose money. And the only way to get up to the top, obviously, is by having that team. That is why when I was in my MLM, my upline was very, very clear that I needed to focus on building the team and less on the actual product. Okay, back to this.
And so I know this is rare, and Conduct, if you're on this call, we love and appreciate you so much. Yes, we do. But Conduct was able to grab them all and pull them all down. But as you can see, like the people that are selling on Amazon sometimes are clever and create this spider web of networks that allow them to keep their listings up. So it is a continuous battle. it is a continuous effort for us to be able to combat and pull those things down. And I know there's a lot of things out there about that. And again, we'll be pointing everything towards the resource page to be able to set the record straight, to be able to give you everything straight from the horse's mouth as it relates to that. But it is a continuous battle for conduct to be able to go on there and pull things down and such. Is there any incentives or something we can do, kind of combating some of the narrative of, it's sinking, or, it's not in a good spot?
I'm going to replay that because he almost said, it sounds like to me, it almost sounds like he said scam.
Is there any incentives or something we can do, kind of combating some of the narrative of, it's sinking, or, it's not in a good spot?
So they know it. They know that there is a narrative that it's not in a good spot because of everything that has come out from them. Like when I have talked about them and when I've seen other people talk about them and make videos, they have sourced it to something. Like they're not just pulling it out of thin air or out of their butt.
So I'll maybe some perspective from my seat is there's a lot of narrative out there where people use something to be able to financially benefit them. And what we've seen internally is that we really want to be able to focus on helping the new member experience be as best as it can. Number two, increasing your business. So, any incentives or something that we can do to help people see the positive nature of Young Living, why it's an amazing place to be. And all of that is really where we want to focus the time. While it is necessary right now for us to create some of these resources so that way the story can be told direct from corporate and doesn't have to be relied on you, we do want to be mindful that we're improving your business, that we're improving the business environment that you're part of, increasing that new member experience so that way, again, people can see that month-over-month growth. I think that's the biggest thing.
So basically, just shut out the haters, don't listen to them of their valid concerns. And we're just going to talk about how we can improve the new member experience and how we can improve in helping you build your business kind of thing. We're not going to talk about their concerns. We're not going to have a response, explanation on some of these concerns. We're just going to put our blinders on and focus on the new members. And the other point that people are doing this or talking out about Young Living for financial benefit. I think that's what he said. That was the gist of it. While there is some financial gain from, and not for everybody, talking about and doing anti-MLM activism, that varies based on just their reach, what platform they're on, lots of different things. There could be people who are doing it solely for that purpose. That is in literally every area of activism. But there are also people who are doing it who want to get that information out to people, and in my opinion, they should be compensated for that because that is their valuable time that they could be using doing something else. They're spending that time creating information for a certain group of people, for people to get education on that piece. And ethically, I don't have a problem with compensation for that. Of course, there's a lot of nuance to that, and there might be, I don't know everybody's true intentions or their heart. There might be somebody who is wanting to do that for just financial benefit, but the people who I've talked to, the people who I hang out with online, people who I'm friends with, I don't see that.
That's the biggest focus for us because that's where spending the resources that we do have will yield us the biggest lift. Let me go through. Let's see, more questions for Andrew. Let's see. What is the challenge with deodorants? All right, so I'm in an internal chat about this right now. So let me see if I can. You promise to keep a secret? I don't know what this is, so I'm gonna read it. Let's see.
So he was reading a message that I guess said, "Do you promise to keep a secret?" I'm really curious what that secret was. I don't think he was supposed to read that part out, but he stopped himself before he continued. But there was some secret going on in this message. I'm just curious what it was.
Okay, so all right, I'm gonna set expectations. So I'm reading my chat that's with Michelle Shin and some of our portfolio managers that manage that product. So they're giving me a time frame. I really hope that we can deliver on that time frame. I'm gonna say that if we do deliver on this time frame, that it would be probably middle to end of September.
Maybe the secret was the time frame. I don't know.
That we'd be able to bring deodorants back. So again, with us here, I'll continue to communicate on my calls that I have with you where we stand on it. What they're looking at and targeting right now is middle to end of September. I really hope we can do that. There's some pieces that we need to do, but I'm hopeful that we can hit that. So we are working heavily on deodorants.
End of month. Give us a parting word about September. How amazing is September going to be?
September is going to be awesome. And the reason why September is going to be awesome, and we've had a lovely year so far, but the why I think September is going to be great is because this is where everything.
Have you had a lovely year?
Everything is pointing to us continuing to have a momentum that's building to help us building back to what we had, and even building beyond.
Building back.
This is where you all shine. You all thrive in fall. You all thrive in fall. You all thrive in winter. Every year, dimes to donuts, you can bet on Young Living members having the most fabulous fall. Like I have friends across the industry in different companies, and only November is good for them. And it's only good because of Black Friday, because they discount the crap out of the product, right? What we see August, September, October, November. Like it's a continual build up because you all thrive in fall.
Typically, from what I have seen around this time, related to like Young Living and doTERRA, have been information campaigns about like back to school and making sure that people are like staying healthy, a lot of claim kind of things. So I'm wondering if that's part of the reason why historically they've seen better outcome or better like performance on sales in the fall and winter kind of months. Just interesting.
You thrive in fall, you build your organization, you bring in the people that are necessary, and we create a stable foundation to start the next year off from in a much better spot than where we started this year from.
So this is also a really good point for anti-MLM activists, anti-MLM content creators, supporters, people to get the information out there about Young Living, of kind of what's going on, looking for and reporting these claims that come up so often. Report, because these kind of things, the claims can be so harmful. Claims, while they're not legal, it goes beyond that and it starts to become like a concern of ethics and safety for people who are duped to kind of use these instead of getting the quality care that they need. And I'm concerned also about all the pets that are around oils all the time. And babies too. Those babies don't need to have it put on them, or they don't need to like start breathing that in. No.
So I have every bit in confidence that we're going to continue to fuel you and give you the tools necessary to continue to have the fabulous fall that I know that we will have. So let's go have some fun with fall. Let's get back into the things that we want to do and start being able to have some fun again.
All right. Thank you very much for coming, everybody. We will see you next week. I'm going to go ahead and end this live chat.
All right. So that wraps it up for that video. Don't leave. I still have that TikTok, but just let me know your thoughts about this call. Thank you again for the person who sent that in. I do believe that there's going to be another call at the end of this month if they don't cancel it. So I'm interested to see if there's any more interesting information coming out from that. All right, so this is a TikTok from a Color Street distributor, and I had commented on an ANTIMLM creator on their TikTok, and I had like a typo or something, and then this this distributor like mentioned the typo, and I was like, yeah, my phone changed the word, I'm sorry. But I went to her TikTok from there, her profile, and she has several videos talking about Color Street. But I saw this one and it made me sad, and I think you'll know why, but let's just watch it and we'll talk about it.
So I just want to have a little real chat with you about this meme that I came across. Because
first off, before we get in further, this meme is just so old. It just we need to retire this meme. Can we not? And these people, I think we found out that they are actual bloggers. None of them, I think that was the update, are actual like part of an MLM. They were bloggers and they all have the same boots because they were at a an event for that company, I think, and then they got gifted those boots, I believe. If I'm wrong about that, leave a comment, but they were not in an MLM from my understanding. And this meme is several years old, so we can just go ahead and retire it. All right, let's just continue.
So I just want to have a little real chat with you about this meme that I came across, because it was actually pretty heartbreaking. This picture is me being genuinely happy with the company that I work for. This is me being proud of how far I've come with my confidence with this company that I work for, and getting to Disney for the first time ever in my entire life as a 32-year-old, and crying my eyes out watching the fireworks for the first time. Doing my own thing, something I absolutely love, that I can be my own boss in. Having fun, not being told what to do, doing whatever I want to do, listening to whatever I want to listen to, come up with any idea that comes to mind. Having friends from a girl who never had a lot of friends, being able to feel beautiful with those friends in the hot Florida heat, and being treated like royalty at Cinderella's table in the castle, and getting on a plane, something I hadn't done in forever. With those people and with that company being who I am today.
So this is why it was just really sad. This is why a lot of people stay in their MLM, I think, for as long as they do, because they do feel like that they have that sense of community. And you do have that sense of community when you're inside of an MLM. You have that group of people who can like encourage you when you're not getting sales and just kind of push you. But a lot of it comes down to one, toxic positivity, but also like they're in a similar state. They have been sold also this dream of this becoming their way to financial security and like being debt free. They've also been sold this idea that like you can just kind of will yourself there and you can just like be positive all the way to the top. And for the amount of people that she had in her pictures, like it is not statistically able for all of them to be at that spot. And it's not for lack of trying or lack of desire, it's just the reality. And the fact that, you know, a lot of people don't have the options to travel a lot or to like have those interactions with people in person for a variety of reasons. I think that says more about kind of our society than it does about the MLM. They want to have those kind of groups to make it harder to leave because you are leaving those relationships. What we know from people who have left MLM, majority of times, they're not able to really stay friends with those people still. A lot of times they will get unfriended or they'll get blocked. I saw someone leave the company that I was a part of who was very close to being at the top. I saw relationships break from that and certain people being unfriended for that. People who generally try to put on this kind of front of like always being positive, and them leaving the company and no longer wanting to be involved with that person. It just kind of brings some things to light that you are replaceable, and that, you know, would those people care about you if you weren't part of that company? Are they really your friends if you're not working in the same like area? If you're not a distributor for the same company, are you going to still be that close to them? Are they really truly your friends? And if you leave and they are no longer that kind of closeness, that might be a sign that they aren't really your friends. And I just thought it was really sad that she was talking about how like she's able to be her own boss, able, you know, to work when she wants to and listen to what she wants to listen to, you can do that without being part of an MLM. And are you really your own boss if you don't have any say over like the styles of the nail? Are you able to make any changes to the structure of the company or the product, the pricing, the colors overall? It's just like you're not really your own boss at that point. I mean, I guess you're your own manager, but it's not really like your company to have that complete ownership over. And so for this distributor, I just know that like all of the positives that she mentioned aren't exclusive to MLM, and I would say that the majority of them aren't even reachable for many people in MLM. The biggest thing that stood out to me was kind of that loneliness. And I think people's loneliness gets exploited a lot to become part of this kind of like-minded community aspect of things. And I think it is so important to have relationships with people, to have friendships. As much as I like staying home and being by myself in kind of my own introvert bubble, it is nice to have friends and to have those connections with people. And I think that's really important. It's a big part of being human. And so the fact that MLMs often exploit that is not cool. I can't think of another word. It's really sad. And so for this person who sees those kind of memes and gets their feelings hurt, I understand. I got hurt seeing YouTube videos of anti-MLM content being shared and people kind of having similar but different memes when I was still part of it. And while it was hurtful, there were some valid, things in those memes, even if they were a little bit snarky. There are some valid points made in the videos and maybe in the memes a little bit, maybe not so much some of them, but yeah. So just for people who are still in MLMs, just be open to those red flags and look at other sources beyond just what the MLM is saying and what uplines are saying and everything. And there are different types of content for people at different stages of their experience in MLM. I think that is that is an actual thing. We have different kinds of content for different people and different stages, and that is okay. And for where I create content and where my kind of goal of creating that content is coming from, it's for a mixture of people who are still in, also newly out, but also people who are in and kind of putting their feelers out to anti-MLM education. So because of that, I'm trying to just, talk to them like humans, right? Because that's all we are. All right, that's it for this video. I hope you found some entertainment and education out of this. If you like this video, please hit that like button, make sure you're subscribed, and that's it. I will see you next time. Remember, you can strive for health without subscribing to diet culture. I'll see you later. Bye.